Okay. Alright, so...
Your opponent comes at you. You fire your arms up to guide your opponent's arms out of the way. This next technique is defense against an arm rush and attack from the front. You're in your ready. This next technique is defense against an arm rush and attack from the front. This next technique is a variation of the defense against. This next technique is defense against an arm rush and attack. In this next defense against a punch, we're going to use a slip as we did in the previous technique, except we're
now, with this technique, okay, even though he's trying to do it, the problem with it is it still opens you up to an attack from the opponent from the other hand, right? Now, the first one, he went to the outside. This one, he's trying to go to the inside, which, the problem with that is you can get hit by the rear hand, right?
Slip in the opposite direction towards the inside of your opponent's body. So you're in your ready stance and you're fighting in close. Your opponent throws a right punch. You slip into your opponent's body, reach your left hand around your opponent's head, fire an elbow strike to the face, which will bring your elbow through, fire another elbow strike to your opponent's temple.
Now, the problem with that is if you do it without doing something to stop him from hitting you with the rear hand first, right? You're gonna get hit. I'm sorry, but you can't quite do that in the real world. That's another technique I was kind of confused about what he's trying to teach you there. But and I don't mean to critique him too harshly, but you kind of have to, right?
In close. Your opponent throws a right punch. You slip.
See, I mean, the problem is, right? Okay, you still got to guard against that hand, right? An experienced fighter will just pop you in the head, right? I'm sorry, but that's a bad technique, right? Just try and slip in, right? Inside, right? Well, there is a way to do that, but you got to use one of your hands to block that arm, right? Now, if you're going to do that, right, you're doing this, right? You can't just do that way. You got to also use one of your hands to block for the other side, right? Whether he throws a punch or not, right? So, the thing is, this dude is a student, right? But when you're on the street, right, you're not fighting the student, right? Who's not going to try to hit you with the other hand. And I'm not trying to say, okay, the whole video is messed up, just this one part, right? Looks a little, like you shouldn't do this technique, but it's on video anyway, so, right? And you don't want to be mean about it, but you gotta make the point, right? If you're a martial artist yourself, right? Well, the problem with that hand is you gotta do something about that hand. As you're coming in, you gotta grab it, right? And then hit him with the other hand, right? Right. Now, you have options, though, even with that technique, right? I'm not saying you can't use it all. I'm saying you gotta neutralize the rear hand first, right? And then you can do something there, right? Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, I don't mind the previous one.
This next defense is defense against a right punch. In this technique, we're going to use a slip from boxing. So, you're in your ready stance and you're fairly close to your opponent. He throws a right punch, you slip under the punch,
That
and use your
one's
right
fine,
hand to
right?
trap your opponent's wrist. You follow through with...
See, that's not the problem. It's the second technique without neutralizing the rear arm, right? That could be a problem for other students, right? Right. And I'm not trying to critique him too harshly, but you got to neutralize the rear hand before you can do that technique first. Either with blocking it before he throws something, right? Which then you have to change how you defend against it too, right?
left hook to the body, step back and do a snap kick to your opponent's ribs, and return to a ready stance. In this next defense against punch, we're going to use a slip as we did in the previous technique, except we're going to slip in the opposite direction towards the inside of your opponent's body. So you're in your ready stance and you're fighting in close. Your opponent throws a right punch, you slip into your opponent's body, reach your...
Now, if you do that with someone who's trained, you'll get hit in the head. And you know that. Okay? But here's the thing. If you do that, you got to neutralize the rear arm first, right? I ain't saying you can't use the technique, but you got to do something out the back arm, right? First. See, what you do there is you jam it with either a karate chop to the arm, right? Or something to distract him that way. And then you can do a hook and a quick hook back to the head, right? And let's go through the whole technique here, right? See what he does.
Hand around your opponent's head, fire an elbow strike to the face, which will bring your elbow through. Fire another elbow strike to your opponent's temple, and return to ready stance.
Now, the thing is, though, that's his student, right? He gonna try and hit him with the rear hand sometimes, right? Even if he could, right? That's respect in the martial arts for that technique. But the problem with that is if you're on the street and the guy's a little experienced, he gonna knock you upside the head with the left hand. Which that's what is happening there, right? He's punching him with the right hand. He's trying to slip under it, but you got to neutralize the left hand before you can use your technique there. And he's still hitting him with the same hand, right? So what I would advise is do a karate chop into the left arm there, right? Do like this and then hook him, right? And then you can elbow him, right? Too, right? And that way you're doing a safer technique, right? You neutralize the left arm so he can't even throw it. You do a karate chop into the left arm, right? Like this, boom. And then you turn that into a hook and then an elbow strike, right? After that. But the hook may knock him back further, right? But either you can use a karate chop to take care of the left arm and then a hook, right? Straight from one another, right? Two. But first you gotta neutralize that left arm, right? Because he's fighting him left side, right? And he's fighting him left side, right? So he's got to duck under, right? Neutralize the left arm, right? Then punch, right? Which that'll knock him that way, right? That way, right? And, you know, it's kind of tricky, right? With that technique too, right? And that's the only, I might have a problem with another one, I'm not sure, but this one here, I don't advise you do, right? Just this one, right? Because it's dangerous with a trained fighter, right? And you're on the streets, right? Right. So, other than that, it's a pretty good video overall, but this technique and the cross, we do a little different, like I said, right? But this is also to show you how to comment over the video a couple times, right? And know these techniques, right?